Once upon a time, in a magnificent kingdom nestled between rolling hills and sparkling rivers, there lived not one, but two princesses. One princess lived in a palace so grand it seemed to touch the clouds, a breathtaking structure of gleaming gold and shimmering marble. Her life was a tapestry woven with threads of pure luxury. Servants anticipated her every whim. Her wardrobes overflowed with gowns spun from silk and moonlight, and her jewelry boxes were filled with gems that rivaled the stars. She had everything a person could ever dream of wanting. Yet, with all this wealth, a shadow lingered in her heart. She was proud, her gaze often looking down on others, and her words could be as sharp as the diamonds she wore. She saw the poor as a nuisance and would often scoff at those who did unshare her extravagant life. Her heart, unlike her palace, was cold and empty. Far from the golden palace, at the very edge of a deep, whispering forest, lived the other princess. Her home was a humble wooden house, small and cozy, with smoke curling gently from its stone chimney. Her only companion was her old, loving nanny. This princess, whom we'll call the poor princess, owned very little. Her dresses were simple, her meals were plain, and her only jewels were the dewdrops that sparkled on the morning glories climbing her cottage walls. But what she lacked in material wealth, she more than made up for with the richness of her spirit. Her heart was a fountain of kindness. Every single day, the poor princess was a familiar, welcome sight in the nearby village. You would see her sleeves rolled up, helping the villagers draw water from the well, her laughter echoing with theirs. If someone fell ill, she would be the first at their bedside, offering a soothing broth and a comforting word. And though she had little food herself, she would always find a way to share a piece of bread or a bowl of soup with anyone hungrier than she was. The villagers didn't just respect her, they adored her. Her kindness was the real treasure of the kingdom, a gentle light that warmed everyone it touched. She found joy not in having, but in giving, and her life, though simple, was filled with love and purpose. Life in the kingdom continued in this way, with one princess wrapped in silk and solitude, and the other wrapped in the warmth of her community. But as we all know, life has a way of changing when we least expect it. Fate was about to test them both, to reveal what truly lies within a princess's heart. One fateful afternoon, the sky began to turn a bruised, angry shade of purple. The wind, which usually whispered through the trees, began to howl like a ravenous wolf. A storm, the likes of which no one had ever seen, descended upon the land. Rain fell not in drops, but in solid sheets, and the rivers, once calm and gentle, swelled into raging torrents. They burst their banks, and a ferocious flood swept through the kingdom, consuming everything in its path. The grand golden palace, for all its strength and beauty, was no match for the fury of nature. The foundations groaned, the marble cracked, and with a thunderous roar, the magnificent structure crumbled into the churning waters. The rich princess, who had once stood at the pinnacle of the world, was cast out with nothing. She lost her gowns, her jewels, her servants, her home, everything. drenched, shivering, and utterly alone. She stumbled through the wreckage of her former life and into the dark, rain-lashed forest. Hunger gnawed at her stomach, a feeling she had never known before. The cold seeped into her bones, and for the first time, she felt true, desperate fear. After what felt like an eternity of wandering, a faint, flickering light appeared through the trees. It was a beacon of hope in the darkness, drawn by its promise of warmth. She staggered towards it until she arrived at a small, sturdy wooden house, the home of the poor princess. With trembling hands, the rich princess knocked on the door. When it opened, she fell to her knees, her pride washed away by the storm. "Please," she begged, her voice barely a whisper, "I am cold and hungry. Can you spare some food, some shelter?" The poor princess looked down at the shivering figure before her. She didn't see the proud princess who had once mocked others. She saw a person in need. Without a moment's hesitation, a warm, genuine smile spread across her face. "Of course," she said, her voice like a soft blanket. Come in out of the storm." She helped the rich princess to her feet and led her inside to the warmth of the crackling fire. She didn't have much, but what she had, she gave freely. She took her last loaf of bread, broke it in two, and gave the larger half to her unexpected guest. She then found her own warmest, driest clothes and offered them to the rich princess to wear. She asked for nothing in return. She simply gave. As the rich princess sat by the fire, wrapped in simple but warm wool and eating the plain but delicious bread, she watched the poor princess. She saw the genuine concern in her eyes, felt the unconditional kindness in her actions, and something inside her broke. A wave of shame and regret, more powerful than the floodwaters, washed over her. Tears began to stream down her face, mingling with the raindrops still clinging to her hair. She wept for her selfishness, for all the times she had been cruel, for the hollowness of her own heart. She finally understood. The poor princess, who had nothing, had just given her everything. "I have been so foolish," the rich princess confessed through her sobs. "I thought my gold made me wealthy, but you who have so little, are the richest person I have ever met. Your kindness is a treasure I never knew existed. I promise, from this day forward, I will change." In that humble cottage, by the warmth of a simple fire, the rich princess was reborn. When the storm finally passed and the sun returned to a clean-washed sky, the waters receded. News of the devastation and of the incredible events that had unfolded reached the king. He learned how his wealthy daughter had lost everything, but more importantly, he learned how the poor princess had opened her home and her heart, saving her with pure compassion. The king was deeply moved. He saw with his own eyes the truth that the storm had revealed. He ordered the reconstruction to begin at once. But this time, things would be different. He built a new palace for the rich princess, smaller and more modest, a reminder of what she had learned. And for the poor princess, he built a beautiful new palace right beside it, not of cold gold, but of warm stone and sturdy timber. with vast gardens where she could grow food for the entire village. He recognized that her compassion was the kingdom's greatest asset. From that day on, the two princesses, once separated by wealth and attitude, became the closest of friends. The rich princess, now humble and generous, worked alongside her friend, using her resources to help the kingdom thrive. She never forgot the powerful lesson she learned in that little cottage, that true wealth is unmeasured in gold or jewels, but in the kindness you show and the love you share. And so the two princesses, one rich in fortune and the other rich in spirit, ruled together with wisdom and grace. They taught their people that the greatest treasures are the ones we carry in our hearts, and they all lived happily and kindly ever after. Thank you so much for joining me for this story. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more tales that warm the heart. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.